Greetings and salutations, viewers. This is I, Cybertron X, coming to you with a review. I'm going to reviewing and giving my thoughts on Transformers Prime, the 5-part miniseries that just finished airing last night. Now, overall, it is a new telling of Transformers, and it's kind of leading off of the movie style with the way the robots look, and it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Voice casts include Stephen Bloom as Starscream, The Rock or Dwayne Johnson as Cliffjumper, Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime, and Frank Welker as Megatron, and Kevin Michael Richardson as the voice of Bulkhead. Starscream is in this. Not Starscream, but Soundwave is in this, and no voice as Starscream as of yet. Like I said, this is a 5-part miniseries leading up into February, which will be the premiere of Transformers Prime, the series. Excuse me, I have a little cold this morning. First episode takes place as you see RC and Cliffjumper on patrol. RC is in one part of the country, Cliffjumper is another. Cliffjumper being voiced by Dwayne Johnson, also known as The Rock. Now, my thoughts on The Rock as a voice actor for Transformers. Yes and no. Yes, it was good. No, it shouldn't have been done. I know I'm going to get some flack for this, but after going back and watching the first episode, it just didn't really need to be. One, all the other Autobots have a robotic tinge to the sound of their voice. Cliffjumper didn't. I don't know if that's part of the contract or what. But overall, as seeing him in vehicle mode talking, it just didn't seem right. It almost looked like a trailer for The Faster, which is the new Fast and the Furious movie. I don't make up titles. Now, but seeing him in robot mode, and the way Cliffjumper's robot mode is designed, the voice suited it, which was pretty good. See, you see Cliffjumper's robot mode when he encounters some Decepticons on some Energon. And there's a little bit more why there's on Earth in the backstory. I'll get to that later. Cliffjumper encounters the Decepticons, takes a couple of them out, but is probably beaten and captured before RC and the other Autobots can get there. Now, he's captured by Starscream because Megatron has not entered the picture yet. Starscream brings Cliffjumper to the bridge, tries to interrogate him, and Cliffjumper is killed. Kind of a little shock. You lose one Autobot in the first episode. That is something pretty ballsy, and that's something I like. So the other other Autobots go to do a rescue mission to find out that Cliffjumper has passed. Well, RC is hiding from Decepticons because they chase her down, and she hides at a fast food restaurant. In walks our first human character, Jack. Jack sees the motorcycle, her RC in motorcycle mode, and just falls in love with the motorcycle. And because he is so close to RC, when the cons roll up, they think that Jack and RC they know each other and they know everything's going on. So RC has no choice but to carry Jack and hide with him. And in doing so, RC and Jack are chased by Decepticons. RC sends out help, and then you have Bumblebee show up. Bumblebee's alt mode looks fantastic. So, in the midst of that, RC gets Jack down into a culvert to where you see our second human character, Raph, playing with his radio control car. She fights off a couple of Decepticons. Bumblebee comes in to help, and they're fighting off the Decepticons. In walks Bulkhead, or rolls up Bulkhead, and the Decepticons leave. But there was 2 human witnesses. In the fight, Jack and Raph run away because the Decepticons are showing up. So, the 3 Autobots return to base and tell Prime, hey, there were human witnesses. Prime instructs them to bring them to the Autobot base for their own protection. Bumblebee in this show only speaks in beeps and whistles and clicks, kind of like R2-D2. Nobody can understand him except the Autobots and Raph. So, which is pretty good. So, Bumblebee and RC are there to pick up from every school, Raph and Jake. Or Jack. I keep saying Jake. It's actually Jack. Jack doesn't want any part of it. Walks down the alleyway. RC follows and transforms. In comes third human character, Miko. So, here we go. We have all 3 humans in the Autobot base. Prime, and you finally meet Ratchet. Ratchet, I forget who he is voiced by. It is gonna kill me, because we were talking about this last night in the group chat, and I forget the name of the actor. Sorry, Sammy. Jeffrey something. Jeffrey Combs, I think. Whoever it is, the voice is perfect for Raph. Fantastic. Love it. Now, in the Autobot base, Prime is discussing why they're there, and that proximity alert happens, and you have in walk our 4th human character, who is Agent. Crap! I can't remember his name right now. But he is voiced by the guy who played Winston Zedmore in Ghostbusters. But I can't think of his name right now. I'm really good at doing this reviewing, aren't I? I'm going to get a lot of comments about this. Alright. So it ends up that Prime has Bulkhead protect Miko, Bumblebee protect Raph, and RC protect Jack. Okay. Now, Megatron shows up, brings in Dark Energon, which is the lifeblood of Unicron. Okay. Which can reanimate fallen Cybertronians. He does this by bringing back Cliffjumper into a mindless zombie. Yes, we have zombies in Transformers Prime, the miniseries. Can't be killed unless you hack them to pieces. We find that out later on. So, the 4 main Autobots, Prime, Bulkhead, RC, and Bumblebee, go to rescue Raph because his life signs show back up. We also find this huge Energon mine. Raph is destroyed. And we fight, and they realize Megatron's back, the Autobots too. Now, they're still trying to figure out Megatron's plans. So Megatron devises a test for Dark Energon. This is when we find out why Energon is on Earth. Prime and Ratchet go to the site of the world of the largest Autobot Decepticon battle, and it is on Earth. Why? During the Great War on Cybertron, one of the backstories is the Autobots and Decepticons were hiding their Energon stash on off-world planets. Earth being one of them. That's why Earth is so rich in Energon, because it's scattered everywhere. Megatron shows up after he has been also infused with the power of Energon, which actually gives him control over the zombies. And we find out he throws a piece of Dark Energon into the side of the battle, and it brings to life all the fallen Autobots and Decepticons. Prime and Ratchet have a fight on their hands, which is pretty cool because they do dual blades, both of them, and it was pretty interesting. They defeat the zombies. Megatron informs Prime that he has a bigger army waiting, and that's when we realize the Decepticons have a space bridge, and they're going to throw the Energon back to Cybertron. In the last two episodes, it is the Autobots and humans trying to stop this. The Autobots go into space to destroy the space bridge. The humans go to a satellite station because in a rescue mission to save their military liaison, Bulkhead destroys the satellite dish on the Nemesis, which I love the redesign of the Nemesis in this series. It's fantastic. Now, overall, Soundwave is at the satellite station, lining up these massive arrays of satellite dishes to send a transmission to lock on to Cybertron. Raph, Jack, and Miko are there trying to stop him, but they don't know that Soundwave is there. Soundwave ends up fighting him, goes to attack him, but in the process is able to relock on to Cybertron, destroys the hardline. There's nothing they can do. But Raph, being the smart kid that he is, downloads the schematics to the space bridge. Gets back to Autobot base. The Autobots are fighting the Decepticons on the space bridge. Ratchet doesn't know what to do. They know they need to destroy the space bridge, but they said they don't have schematics. Raph gives them the schematics. And Ratchet asks Prime, "This is our only way home. Are you willing?" Now, this is also after Megatron has successfully launched the biggest chunk of Dark Energon onto Cybertron, reviving all the fallen Autobots and Decepticons on Cybertron, and they're on their way because he's called them forward. A huge, massive army of the undead Cybertronians. Prime makes the decision. We have to. And then the best line in the movie, in the series for me, is Ratchet saying, then we must light our darkest hour. And Bulkhead, Bumblebee, and RC are off to destroy the space bridge, while Prime has a showdown face to face with Megatron, and Prime does utter the classic line, "One shall stand, one shall fall." And the fight is on, and it was a good fight. The Autobots get off the space bridge before it blows. Starscream has the Nemesis moved. Megatron is still at the space bridge. His force almost comes through when the space bridge explodes. Megatron is at that explosion. So we don't know if Megatron has survived or if he's destroyed. Now, after this, Jack, Miko, and Raph think, okay, we have to forget you even exist now. No. Prime informs them, no, you're part of the team now. So, it is my final thoughts. That was the whole summary of the episodes. My final thoughts. Voice acting, great, except for a few parts. Robot mode's fantastic, except for Starscream's looks too... He looks more like a classic movie, henchman who's always slunched over. Voice kind of works pretty good, so I like it. Human characters, not as annoying as Energon. At least none of them are like Kicker. None of them are like Kicker. The hopes for the future episodes in February, I'm highly looking forward to it, and I hope they're good. Now, I recommend people finding these episodes, watching them if you missed them. If you missed them, I just spoiled a whole bunch of it for you. I'm sorry. But go out, watch these episodes. They are fantastic. And it's a great show. It's fantastic. I absolutely enjoyed it. So my recommendation is full naked bacon.